Okay, see that I'm gone live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Peter J. Redding here as the Peter in Tuesdays with Peter. I don't know why that tickles me, it just tickles me. So today is the continuation of our series on the positively brilliant self-mastery. I believe every conscious human being somewhere around midlife, and I would say historically and personally, that was around 35 years old for me. And you can spread that out maybe from 28 to 40-ish for most of the world population. It gets to be conscious at that stage, saying, okay, so I've done everything I'm supposed to do. I've done everything that I've been asked to do. I've been everything that parents, guardians, family, culture, educators, bosses, organizations, et cetera, I've done all those things to the best of my ability, and I'm still not happy. I'm still, there's got to be more to life. I mean, it's the old Alfie song, you know, is this all there is? So today, I think, is the epitome of this entire book chapter series that we're going through, and getting to the core of our existence. Why am I here? Does my life make a difference? How does my life make a positive difference to anybody? And who are they? So we're going to talk about that of a dear friend of mine, not able to be with us today, but he is wrote a story for me for this book back in 2008, and it's his real life, what he was going through at approximately that age. So this is a special one for me today. Let me get right to it. Let me bring up the PowerPoint. And looks like I need to do a bit of an adjustment here. Just give me 1 second so I can do that. See if that works a little bit better. Not really. Okay, well, a little technical glitch here. Let me just try to adjust what I need to see on my screen here. Okay, well, sorry about this. And I really do need to get that adjusted properly so that I can do what I need to do. Give me 1 second. That should be it. All right, moving right along. Positively brilliant self-mastery, Peter J. Redding, and we are in week number 21, or week number 15 out of 21. So here we go. Principle 15 is you actually know your innate life purpose. You know your innate life purpose, not the purpose that you've been given, that is from culture, parenting, educators, etc. And a story contributed today in this session is from Robert Stack. Robert Stack, dear friend of mine. And the quote that I found is not from Robert Stack, but from Robert Byron. I don't know how you pronounce that, Byron. The purpose of life is a life of purpose. Now that may seem redundant, but I had to read that about 4 times myself when I first found it, and I go, that makes perfect sense. Am I living my life on purpose? My core purpose, my own unique purpose. And my answer to that was no. And the other part of the answer for me, when I was first going through this process myself at probably 37 is the year that I pin it at, I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know how to find it. So that's why I wrote the book. And this is from a book standpoint, and a lot of this is just take word for word out of the book, is section 4, doing your innate life purpose, doing it, living it. Okay. All right. So what a brilliant statement to be able to make, quote, I know my innate life purpose, unquote. To say this is breathtaking. This means you have cut through what others have told you about your purpose in life. You have gone back to reconnect. Just a second. This is today of technicalities. There we go. That's more better. To say this is breathtaking, this means that you have cut through what others have told you about your purpose in life. You have gone back to reconnect with your divine nature, to your infinite resourcefulness, to gain an understanding of what your unique purpose is. Discovering one's real life purpose is sometimes held, even by the most conscious and personally responsible people I have known, to be a daunting and serious matter. I invite you to take a relaxing, deep breath. Finding your innate life purpose does not have to be a scary or even a challenging self-discovery journey. Kind of reassuring, isn't it? How do you know that you are receiving it? No, let me start over again. How do you know what you are receiving is from your divine nature and that it is your innate life purpose? Here's some of the criteria I use for myself and for many, and I'm talking about thousands of people now at this stage. Many I have supported to access and articulate their innate life purpose. 1, was its origin from deep inside of me, from my divine nature. Next, is it life affirming? Next, is it deeply and personally compelling? My innate life purpose statement is, I am the exquisite and playful orchestration of my unique human expression and my oneness with spirit that come together to create a bodacious flourishing of life. Love that. I came to this, I'm going to say 25 years ago, 24 years ago, something like that. Hasn't changed. Not one word of it. Hasn't changed in 24 years. Still as true and vibrant and as a beacon, a GPS, North Star, as it was then, as it is, continues to be today. Other sample or possible life purpose statements that I've seen come from students, colleagues, family. I am the safe harbor that invites all seekers of peace to reflect, rest, and replenish. Another one, I am the sage that sees and celebrates your wisdom. Okay. So we go to the story, Aligning with Your Heart, Aligning with Your Heart by Robert Stack. I'll read this for him in his absentia. It was not until I suffered a myocardial infarction and underwent emergency cardiac bypass surgery in April of 1995. At the age of 38 that I began to ponder the powerful inquiry, is there a larger purpose for living? After coming so close to my death and miraculously surviving, I struggled with mortality issues in a life that had been turned upside down. Until my heart attack, I was a respected industry leader in the entertainment field who represented prominent CEOs, sports celebrities, and Hollywood superstars. After my open heart surgery, I lost total confidence in myself. Furthermore, I began to question my career path and struggled to save my relationship with my girlfriend, who was enduring a messy divorce. Paraphrasing comments by Dan Millman in his book, Living on Purpose, I was living my life by accident, stumbling into relationships, wandering into careers, searching for deeper meaning, hoping and praying that I'd be lucky in love, find my fortune, and avoid another heart attack. I now realize that I lived the first 4 decades of my life at random, not on purpose. My decision to become a professional life coach started me down a transformational path of self-mastery that deepened my understanding of how to live on purpose. During my coach training several years ago, I birthed a life purpose statement that continues to serve me. Let me just mute background noise here if I can. Good, yeah, got it. So let me continue his story here. I am giving unconditionally with my heart and in awe of the wondrous process of self-mastery as I learn to harness my spirituality and unique gift of guiding others on the path of life by being a stellar role model. As a direct result of knowing my life purpose, I am proud to say I am a leader and trendsetter in both the coaching and speaking professions. Overcoming seemingly impossible odds and a mountain of adversity, I am living life according to my innate life purpose by aligning what I do with my heart. I owe my personal comeback in part to my steadfast determination to discover my life purpose and the realization that the answers I am seeking are within me. I just needed to open myself up to what's inside and authentically live it. No one should have to suffer a heart attack to learn a lesson, but I did. I learned to honor my heart because my heart knows the way. Wow. Wow, wow, and wow. Whew. I met Robert a few years after this event that he is talking about here, having going through a bypass surgery. at the age of, what did he say? I think he said 38, or no, 36, something like that. In any event, a young, vibrant man. And I would imagine that anyone that has gone through a similar operation and event in life shakes them to their core. God bless you, man. God bless you. He's still with us on the planet. Hip, hip, hooray for that. He was exposed to COVID back about a week or two ago, so he's lost part of his voice capacity, so he wasn't able to join us today. Desperately wanted to. Maybe he'll join us on a future session. But I honor you, Robert. I honor you for your tenacity of life, your huge heart, your compassion that you bring to every activity, every person that you come in contact with. So all the blessings and energy of healing back at you today and forever. So this is a reminder of the depths of concern, the depths of frustration, the depths of not knowing and wanting to know one's life purpose. Yeah, it's a reason that I believe I'm alive, is to do my life purpose. If I'm not doing my life purpose, then it's not a good spend of a lifetime. I'm fascinated with sparkly things, shiny things. I acquiesce to what others request of me, want from me, all of that. And sorry, I am just having issues today with my videos. So let me just start getting my self-mastery one up here. There we go. Okay, so this is the Holy Grail. This is what I think every human being is seeking, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. Why does an individual change jobs 5 times? Why do they drop out of the major that they're in university and seek something else? It's because they're not happy with whatever they're doing in the moment. I'm doing this for somebody else. It doesn't feel right for me. I'm frustrated. Now, it doesn't mean that once you achieve or arrive at your, I'm going to call it the core life purpose, your deepest down life purpose, that you have a life of absolute joy, no frustration, you don't have to exhaust yourself. I'm not saying that. That's not been my case. But I am saying that when I put in the effort now, and it's aligned with my life purpose, it's congruent with my life purpose, it supports my life purpose and being able to voice that. I might be exhausted at the end of the day, but it is an exhaustion of, wow, I feel really, really good about what I contributed today, what I did today, what I did to inspire others today. I can still be exhausted. I still am frustrated with things of life. You know, this isn't going my way. How come it's not going my way? I still live a human experience day after day. What it does change, what it does shift, is there is a vibrancy. There is a deep, deep sense of personal fulfillment and satisfaction that is derived by being on course with my life purpose, as opposed to not being in alignment with my life purpose and going off on a tangent. And yes, I've done that as well over the last 25 years because I'm human. And even if I achieve that tangential goal that may not have been completely aligned with my life purpose, even when I do achieve that, there is not that sense of deep personal satisfaction, fulfillment, feeling of, good for you, Peter. So that's the difference. I believe it brings more energy, more life, more vitality to my life. And for those that have found their life purpose and are living in alignment that to the best of their human abilities, I hear very similar kinds of stories. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Coach for Life. Thank you for allowing me to find that back 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 18 years ago, 22 years ago, when I went through your program. It's made a huge difference in terms of how I parent. It's made a huge difference in terms of my physicality and my taking care of my body. It's made a huge difference in my career. It's made a huge difference in my life, my relationships, my siblings. I mean, on and on and on, right? I reconciled with my mom that I hadn't talked to in 15 years, literally, okay? So I want to open it up to your experience, your questions. What have you noticed about knowing your life purpose and living in alignment with that, or not, as the case may be? And we've got some of our regulars back here. I love seeing your faces with Ritesh and Sunny and Charles. So anybody would like to comment? Oh, and Vivek, I see Vivek in his black and white profile picture there. What comes up for you in terms of actually knowing your life purpose? You can raise your electronic hand or your actual hand, and I will unmute you. British, yeah, hold on. Let me just pin you, British. There we go. That's what I want to do. Hey, British.
Hi, Peter. Hello, everyone. I think one thing which has always come up whenever there's any talk of life purpose is that what you started the session today with is that everyone knows their innate life purpose. It may not be in words that is there, but the sense of it always exists. And be it we changing jobs or not staying with or not being with people throughout our life, and people come and go, we not feeling very comfortable in certain situations, places. Everything has a message which connects to somewhere to the life purpose that we have. What comes out through coaching and through the trainings that we have done is that we are able to give words to it. And it has not only been mine, I've discussed it with multiple coaches where they've said that when they came out with the statement of their life purpose, it was not a new thing for them. The biggest thing that came out was, wow, we always knew that, or you always felt this. And this feeling, I think, if I have to say where it resides, this is the heart place.
Robert would agree with that. Literally, yeah.
And because of maybe that conditioning and too much of doing happening around, we don't listen to our heart, right? A lot of times we just say that, no, this won't help in that doing space. So this has to work. And it is that disconnect which maybe what is visible, what is felt, the life purpose, but it's not seen every day. We don't see it every day. It is visible, but and then that's when that statement comes out. It feels that, oh wow, that wow thing, right? You said so that word, and I've seen that expression on everyone. Living in alignment or not living in in alignment with that, I think you go within. Anybody who goes within will be able to understand instantly if your life is currently in alignment with your life purpose or not. You may not have a laughter, your face may not have a smile, but your heart will always smile if you are living in alignment. That's what, now this is all language, but it has a feel to it.
Yeah.
As you said, that you might be exhausted at the end of the day, we might be tired, things in the doing space might not have gone as we want, but we still somewhere know something is right.
Yeah.
And that is that alignment with that purpose.
Bang on. Yeah.
It comes and goes. Not every day we are able to, and we do things which are not in alignment. I do, I'll be very honest. But then I know that eventually the pull is towards moving away from that and making sure that somehow I don't put myself into situations, or I don't allow situations which disconnect me or take me away from smiling here.
I love what you're saying, Riddhish. I do. And it's, I believe that the life purpose has always been there. I believe that we intuitively know what the life purpose is without having the words specifically. And I've heard a lot of people when they're talking about this particular topic of, okay, so how do you find your life purpose, and how do you live your life purpose, and how do you live in alignment with your life purpose? They'll often say, well, you really can't do that. But what you do through experience is it's trial and error. You try a job and that doesn't fit. You try a kind of a relationship and that doesn't fit. And then you try a different activity or go after a goal and that's not quite it. And so there's always this kind of internal pull or Geiger counter or compass or something that's deep inside. We'll call it the heart for right now. That is tugging at, no, that's not the path that really satisfies this inner need to fulfill or be in alignment with why you're here on the planet, right? The difference, at least for me, has been rather than having this be a trial and error. And so some people will spend 50 years trying to figure out, to get life right. From the internal part that you're talking about, which I believe is there for every human being from birth to death and maybe beyond, who knows. But by being able to articulate it, now it's kind of concrete. It makes it concrete. It's like, okay, so now I can ask specifically every day if I want to in my journaling, at the top of the journal, to what degree am I aligned with my life purpose today? Or yesterday, is it, in cases I'm writing. Until 37, not so much. But today, 80%. Woohoo! Right? It's definitive. It's like looking at the compass. I saw a very interesting thing. I was like on National Geographic on TV, and it said that the ants in Africa build their mud, homes, castles. They're like, like a mud castle. It's like a column, and every single one is leaning towards true north. It's like ants do that. I mean, talk about the intelligence of a little itty bitty creature on the planet. So there's intuitiveness and innateness in every human being, I believe, that is gravitationally pulled towards their life purpose. So trial and error works. it just takes a lot longer. At least in my case, it was like, well, no, this isn't quite it. And no, that's not it. And why am I miserable? I'm working as hard as I possibly can, but it's not satiating that deep down pull to that heart place that you and Robert speak so eloquently of, or that knowingness that is part of my, if you will, ethereal DNA. And now that it's written down, it's like, yeah, I can pretty much put a percentage to it. I'm at 85% today. I'm at 15% in this activity that I'm still trying to accomplish in my life right now. That satisfies the brain part of my being. And I believe you can calculate it. I mean, it may not be down to the third decimal point, but it can be to the whole number. Yeah, my life right now is 90+%. Wow. Or it's 10%. Not so wow. But having it in there, having that pull, or that kind of internal feeling of keep going, buddy, you're doing good. this feeling really right. It may be exhausting. It may be hard work, but it's my work to do. As opposed to, yeah, you're exhausted, and this wasn't really your work to do in the first place. so it's both exhausting and unsatisfying. So I choose the other. But thank you. Yeah, because initially all these are, yeah, wow. How did that happen? There I am on the page. I am bumpity bumpity bump in order to contribute. And everybody has access to this now. CoreSELFie, before Charles jumps in and beats me up and saying, Peter, tell them about CoreSELFie.com, CoreSELFie.com. Thank you, Charles. Your spirit is living through me. There's a process on there that has come out of this last 26 years of work with coaches, awesome coaches like British, to take somebody through, and it's for free. It's available. It's my way, Coach for Life's way of paying it back, paying it forward to the world. A very simple 10-minute exercise that will give you a pretty good indication of life purpose. And as Redish says, it's there. It's already there. It's just a matter of kind of drawing it out and putting it into words. Redish, anything else you want to add to that?
Just for like we five are here, but I'm sure there are more people on Facebook and YouTube. I think everybody here today present also, coaches would understand, and especially the ICF way, there are no CCEs connected to this 1 hour, right?
Right.
Everyone here has that pull coming in. Nobody's coming here to make Peter feel good, right? So like for the validation we say, right? So it's about even this alignment of being here for this 1 hour. Somewhere would align. If everybody goes back and sees at their life purpose, it would fit in somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's as you said, it is a pull. This 7:30 to 8:30 IST, if I talk about Indian Standard Time, it pulls. And the week I was not here for last 2 weeks. I was doing work, but I knew what was missing. Right. So yeah. So just to bring it to this place that yeah, how it aligns.
Redish, I love you. I do. Yeah, and it brings to the point of let me kind of release you. It speaks to the totality of life purpose is applicable to every single thing, every single day, every single activity of my life. It's not just for, okay, the time that I spend helping to save the planet. It's not just for my immediate brothers and sisters, my siblings, or my immediate family. Every single thing that I choose to do, or that I am doing. The question keeps, the one that has resonated for me now for 25 years, now that I've written it down on a piece of paper, articulated it, you know, that I shared earlier, it's in the book. To what degree am I aligned with my life purpose, not just today, but in doing this video streaming and going out to lunch with my sweetie pie and working with my virtual assistant and communicating and having relationships with my siblings or other people. So it's ubiquitous. Now, am I super conscious of that all the time? I'm not. But the heart does. The heart knows, yeah, you are satiating, you are aligning, you are living on purpose. Or not, as the case may be. Yeah. British, awesome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being on my planet. You're making the world a better place.
Thank you, Peter. Thanks.
Other comments, other insights, and any other questions in terms of how, where, when, who, what, anything? Yeah, Sunny. Let me highlight you. Hey, Sunny. Love that name.
Peter.
You are Sunny. Your face is sunny. Every time I see your face, it lights up my life.
Thank you. So I think what I have gathered, so I did last year, this year, the core selfie for me, and the life purpose came out. And I have been working on it since then. So it's a work in process to test it in various places. So I think one of the key, one I want to say is that the values and the gifts and talents was much easier to know, yeah, these two were to come. But I think the life purpose was really something, like you said, the Holy Grail, like, oh, how did this come on in paper? So I think that was very helpful. And then the whole journey of keep testing it, that is it applicable here? Is it applicable there? Even when you said that, or even Ritesh was saying that it is for every moment that you live it, I still have not home with it. But especially in my sessions for my clients, and even today I had one session. So one of the client was looking at two alternative career choice. And there is one choice which aligns with the life purpose to the T, and I'm able to see it. She herself is showing all signs of happiness when she lives that, but she does not realize that she has even lived like that. While the alternate choice is all sulking, she said she used the word facade for it, and all that was happening. And I think so it is very important in some way again to have this written, which thanks to Peter, we have a way. I'm sure there are other ways because as even Ritesh said, you know it, you sense it. So in my life, I have seen it. When I was doing something like this, I was happy. And my sister said, when you're on that stage or that way of living, I don't know, but you were just always smiling. And I said, oh, I don't know, but I was being a channel or something. So relates to my life purpose. But I think everybody does it that way. So I think that's really what I realize happens. And with this client as well. And I think it requires like a coaching session to help them keep feeding that, making them realize to go back to the sheet, which I do. And you transmit it. So for me, because I became a coach, I know I have to take this and your training to keep doing this again and again. And still, like I said, I'm not still there. I would test it that whether it applies. So, and life will throw an opportunity. So to weigh it, is it required? Even to the minutest of the decisions. And that's the journey which I'm on. And I'm sure most of us are on. But that's the beauty of it. So I think it is the holy grail, but it's the trickiest one because, like I said, the talents and the values are easier you know them, there are words which you kind of feel within you. So
Mhm.
you say, okay. The only one last thing which I'll add is I also feel that if you're living your life purpose, all the values and all the talents come to life.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's almost like then the tree becomes glittery and all lights and shining and bright. And if there is something missing, maybe one of the fruits is really dim or the values, the root is not getting watered. So that's what I have at least learned so far.
Terrific, terrific insights, and great for using all the metaphors that you learned. 10 gold stars. The a couple of points that you bring out, and I'm glad that you're bringing them out, is that everybody does not remember their life purpose even after they've written it down on a piece of paper, because we're human. We get tied up with all kinds of activities, and we forget. I forget. I'll put in an I statement. So it is how do I remind myself? How do I reconnect with it? How do I realign with it? Is a great question. And there's been multiple ways of that happening. Having a professional coach is a great way, because at least every couple of weeks now that when you reconnect with at least your coach for life, graduate coach, they're going to ask you, so to what degree is this aligned with your life purpose, or, utilizing your natural gifts and talents and so on. So that's one thing. The other thing, in terms of making it I'm in a fork in the road of life. And do I choose person A or person B, or career option A or career option B, or those kinds of questions, is a perfect time to look at life purpose. Perfect time. And I've had clients, and I have experienced myself that, yeah, okay, so very clear that A is the one that's aligned with my life purpose. But do I always choose it, or does the client always choose it? Not necessarily. I would be absolutely tickled and 100% aligned and juiced and excited and passionate about following A. But you know what? B pays twice as much. And I've got the practical world that weighs in and saying, I've got a lifestyle that I have basically promised my family to live within, to be educated by, to be have the comfort level of that level of income. So some real practical things get into this as well. And I've had many clients, and we've gone through that exact conversation. Again, I don't direct. I'm just saying, to what degree does this align? To what degree is that aligned? And what do you want to choose for yourself? And they choose the one that may be less aligned with their life purpose. And I don't judge them for that. It's not my job to judge them as a professional coach. So, okay, you make it a very conscious decision. So what would that look like? What are the next steps? And we move on to, executing on that other option. Invariably, month later, 6 months later, client comes back and said, you know what, Peter, I'm just freaking exhausted. I can't do this anymore. What they're referring to is option B. And it's not the time to gloat. It's not the time to say, well, I could have told you that 6 months ago. They had to go through that for their own learning. And hip, hip, hooray for that. And I really do mean that genuinely. It's not like I'm giving it lip service now. It's like, good for you. Okay, so what's your new choice? I do not want to be a model for my child. This is the words that this particular client used. And I'm not going to give you any more details other than she said, I don't want to be the model of a parent that models sacrificing for the sake of money. Oh, wow. And then she went back to, I don't think it was the exact same option that was in front of her at that stage, but something much more aligned with her life purpose. And she was happy with that. She thrived in that other arena. She became a better mom, a better executive, and so on and so forth, better human being, because she was consciously aligned now more closely with her life purpose. So just by knowing it doesn't mean, in fact, that's what we're going to get into next week. We're kind of getting into next week's material is, okay, so now that you know it, are you living it or not? and honoring that either way. So we'll talk about that. There was one other point that you brought out, Sonny, and now I've talked so long about the first one, I forget the second one. Yeah, it'll come back to me. Anything else you want to add to that, Sonny?
No, I think even I had an experience, or maybe more, that the client says in the session that this is what my life purpose is, but it actually goes the other way.
No.
And what I'm grateful for, and this is also what I learned, that 2% of the world population has the willpower to really achieve what they set their eyes to, and the 98% need support. And what I'm grateful for is that I am one of those 98%, because I am in that same category, and I am actually 38 right now. So I have done all of this right now. So I am really grateful that I understand. And what I also appreciate is a coach's help for me who's non-judgmental and asking me to, and just supporting
Yeah.
without any agenda.
Yeah. 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 If I look at my past self, I see Sonny's face. That's me. Only Sonny, you're way way more smarter and informed than I was at 38. Trust me. If I was listening to this, I've often said this, if I'm listening to myself now, you know, like today, if I saw my future self right on a video screen like this, and I go, who the hell is that? And what the hell is he talking about? You know, it's like, what is he smoking? Oh dear. So that's where I was at 37. You know, if it wasn't practical, earning money and, you know, corporate oriented and, you know, getting more sales and getting more performance out of my team, then it's like, who has time for that stuff? That's where I was at 37. So I was a very successful doing this person, not a beingness person at 37. So God bless you. Charles, I see you biting your lip there and chomping at the bit. Let me bring you in here and see what wisdom you have to share with us today. Hey, Charles.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't claim anything except to be increasingly aware of how much I know that I don't know and how much potential I have for further awakening to true self, life purpose, and facilitating that being revealed and realized. However, I'm spending 20 to 40 hours every week these days in various organizations and, oh my God, Zoom rooms with hundreds, if not thousands of people who are more actively engaged or very actively engaged in trying to help co-create a world that works for everyone. And it occurs to me, if doesn't matter how fast you're going or how far you get, if you're not in alignment with your true core self and aware of, at least to some extent, your life purpose, you probably won't fulfill your ultimate destiny, right? So I'm seeking to find ways to offer Coach for Life, particularly to the 99 days of peace through unity. You know, these people want to move there, and I just feel like if they can discover the beautiful resources available through Peter J. Redding, Tuesdays with Peter, CoreSELFtech in particular, maybe even inspired learning, a major gift can be realized. So that's in my heart, and the message today helped reinforce that, you know, because so many people are, maybe as a result of COVID or change in life or health or career or income or desires. People are open and receptive to making a difference, making a positive difference. So thank you for jumping in there and promoting CoreSELFtech.com. I appreciate you. And I'm looking for some Peter J. Redding quotes that humbly, as you are, offer the gifts that you share with us every Tuesday and every day of your life. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you. A brother in kind, no doubt about it. And yeah, privileged to know you, Charles. Privileged to be a part of your universe, your immediate universe, and hope to support you during the what's a World Week of what? You want to say two sentences about that?
Well, it's 8 days of World Unity Week produced by Unity Earth that culminates over 99 days with the 40th anniversary of International Peace Day now week. So it's 99 days of positive, uplifting resources for anything. When I brought up love, the response was like, I kind of heard the song, what does love have to do with it? What does love have to do with peace and unity? And my response was everything, so introducing them to the Love Center and the Love Foundation and becoming a love master and becoming a peace master, and pretty soon becoming aware of your true core self. So I put the link to World Unity Week in the chat. So
excellent. And thank you for that. The world needs more of all of that, so that we can get along better, support each other. Love you, brother. Love you. All right, we've got about 7 minutes remaining here. Anybody else would like to contribute? I see Vivek and Simi. Either of you would like to ask a question or?
Yeah. So yes, Peter, I would like to share something and ask a question as well. I've just been contemplating on that.
Fantastic.
So I do resonate a lot with what Hitesh said, that this place is like a very life affirming and, grounding in anchoring in one's life purpose, being here in this place. And like last week I was searching for it, and somehow I was going to a wrong link and I could not be, and I missed being there. At the same time, also I would like to share is that I think this life purpose and the values, when one is going through a challenging time, especially in life, I think it gives a very strong anchor. Because I experienced, like I shared last time, like a year and a half, I went through a difficult time. And each time my mentors I was going to my mentoring at that time. So each time my mentor read my life purpose, it just kind of, I felt so alive, each time he read it, I became alive. I felt so nice, and so it was like really powerful for me. Also, so if my life purpose is basically I'm a flow with the courage, which goes through whatever comes in its ways to nourish others and self.
Wow.
So I felt it may have changed its form, but it just continued, and also I wondered at one point in time that if you go through a very difficult or challenging period in life, does the values or purpose, does it change?
Yeah.
So that was what I was.
That's great question. Great question. Here's my experience with that in terms of, going through challenging times or very trying times or deep sense of loss is the other time that people will ask, does my life purpose change? Do I need to focus more on, that loss or that individual? My answer to that is it doesn't change. People that have gone deep, and when I talk about deep in terms of they're ready to go deep to find their life purpose or to articulate their life purpose. And when they've done that initially, whether that was a year ago, whether that was 20 years ago, very little changes. There may be some words that get added or changed a little bit maybe, but the essence, the message behind that life purpose that is so powerful. And as Rich properly said, that's already in the heart. That's always been there. It's just a matter of articulating it, putting it into words that is kind of, it's almost like I feel like a translator, right? It's like I'm the Rosetta Stone for people to know, okay, so what's deep inside of my heart, how can I put that into words on a piece of paper so that it reminds me day after day, week after week, year after year, yeah, that's the truth of who I am. So my experience, it doesn't change. If the person is skeptical, if they are still in their brain 90% of the time, and no, if it's not logical, then it doesn't go on a piece of paper, and they go through an exercise, this exercise, or there's probably 1,000 others in the world, then they're skeptical about it and they discount it and they go, no, that can't be me, right? That's not the way I live now. I hear that one a lot, or I hear the opposite side of it is, oh, that's so grandiose, I can't possibly live up to that. So there's kind of extremes of acceptance when they articulate their life purpose statement. Even with that, I think there's so much validity in the written thing that they've come out with that they eventually will come back to it and go, you know what, that really is true for me. And so one of the ways that you can validate this, by the way, and it's again in the CoreSELFtech.com. CoreSELFtech.com has a validation, self-validation. You can do it on your own and validate it for yourself. And the way I do that is pick a time in life where you are absolutely miserable. Don't spend a lot of time thinking about it, but just, this was not my best, my best effort when I was, 28 going through my first divorce or whatever might have been the case for that individual. And then the best time, I'm so proud of myself that I stood up for myself or the kind of people that I am, or my culture, or my sexuality, or my whatever is deeply important to that individual. And I am so proud of myself for that time of life. And then it's really simple. Take your life purpose and say, to what degree was your life purpose being satiated, aligned with that not so good time in life? And it typically is very low. Maybe I was living 5% of my life purpose in that awful time of life. And to what degree am I aligned with my life purpose in this most proud time? And it's typically 80%, 90%, 100%. So there is a measurement that a person can intellectually go through to say, wow, maybe this really is right for me. Maybe this is the veracity of who I'm meant to be, what I'm meant to contribute in my lifetime. So, yeah, my experience, person gets their life purpose pretty clearly. It doesn't change. And it applies to when you were 5 years old. It applies to when you're 95 years old.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. And it's also a great question. I get that all the time. Does this change when I change jobs? Does this change when I change life partners? Does this change when I lose my parents? Does it change when God forbid, you lose a child? And unfortunately, there have been people in my life that have all of those things happening to them or have happened to them over the last 25 years. And it's gut-wrenching. And their life purpose is still the same, fundamentally the same. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what even seems to be my experience. It's from 18, I just got this purpose actually in words, but I don't think it has changed since then, despite a lot has been happening.
Yeah.
I think it seems to be same. Yeah.
Beautiful. And it looks so good on your face when you say it. You just light up. I mean, it's like, woo.
Yeah. So actually, thank you so much for this. Actually, I'm really in gratitude for this, and my spiritual path, they align, and that is what has kept me going amidst of everything.
Thank
So
you.
thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. We are at time, so I am going to wrap it up. And thank you for all of our contributors. Thank you for being with me today. I love being with you on Tuesdays with Peter. I plan on doing this as long as I have breath. So you've seen me around here for a long time, hopefully. And thank you for spending some time with me. I look forward to being with you next week, same time, same station. So for now, I wish you God bless. Namaste. Be safe. Bye, everybody.